Hi guys, welcome to Civilization Beyond Earth. And over the weekend, Steam has free to play for a weekend, and I got to give it a try. I wanted to spend more time to it, but time does not allow. I was having other engagement with another game, But I've played Civilization 5, and I kind of enjoyed how this whole turn-based strategy game is like. And I myself is a big sci-fi fan, so I really wanted to try Beyond Earth. It's just that the review has been very mixed, and also being a new game is pretty expensive as well without the expansion and all. And usually for a game like this, it's good to pick it up after, say, a couple of years after it's released, with all the edition coming in, 75% discount, and just get it. So nevertheless, I spent a couple of hours into playing it, and I know the demo only allow you to go up to 100 turns and 100 turns. So I've started a game that I've done more than 100 turns, 130, 140. And I think in this game is around there as well, 140 turns around there. So I have some idea on what the game is like. It's still very much like an early game. So basically, just to continue from where the Civilization 5 left off, whereby you declare victory by maybe sending your rocket up to the sky and looking for up to the stars and looking for another new home. So now there you are. So after many years. In the future, civilization has found a new home, and different I suppose pods whatnot landed on different part of this new home, and they establish your whole new civilization, so as to speak, from a futuristic point of view. So I've started this game over here, and this is my capital, and you can zoom in, and it has a fair bit of detail to it. If you are familiar with Civilization 5, is somewhat similar to it. The only different, like many people has raised it up, is that the color theme is very much blue and green for the entire map. So unlike the colorful feature of the Civilization 5, it doesn't really have that kind of like colorful contrast to it. But I'm a sci-fi fan. I think new planets are supposed to look different, and if it's blue and green, then so be it. It doesn't have the nice seagull flying and like the Civilization 5, but it does have some other bits and pieces that have been walking around, like all these insects and whatnot. It has a nice feel of depth here as well. Things that are in the background are a bit blurry, and it looks. It looks pretty alright. All these, by the way, are alien features. So, so what does it feel like in the future? So, in the future, very much like what you've done in Civilization 5, is that you start off with a capital, and you expand upon it. You put a little outpost. These are all outposts. You can name your outpost. So, I'm from Singapore, so all this makes sense to probably those Singaporean viewers, but the rest of the world probably you say, huh, what's that? It's very much like a Civilization 5 game in some way, but in a lot of ways is quite different. So what are the differences? So I'm personally a geek. So when I look at a tech tree, it's really fantastic. It's a tech web now. It's not really a tree like the couple of like streamline lines across like Civilization 5. All these are like state of the art technology. So if you look at things like swarm robotic. Those are swarm technology that now we are talking about it. Nano robotic is there. Swarm intelligence is there. What else are there? They're really nice exotic matter. If you are keep following all this like futuristic technology, it's here. This is the future. No more researching on writing or compass or whatnot. Go direct to genetic and alien science and transgenics and whatnot. So it is wonderful. And the way how this tech tree works is that it's a web, so you can explore various part to it, like like a web kind of thing. The node is easier to research. It is the leaf, they call it, that is the one that go deep. It's the one that causes a lot more rounds. So for instance, it causes like 86 rounds to get nanotechnology, but if you want to go deep into nanorobotic, then you have to spend more rounds to it. And it has a nice filter to it as well. You can filter off by affiliation. So for instance, if you are into harmony, which is what you want to coexist with the creatures on this planet, to incorporate their DNA into yours and ultimately connect everybody into like a hive mind, swarm, intelligent kind of thing. I mean, these are notes to it. And by the way, if you picked up like a couple of them, like I think swarm intelligence, and what else? There are a couple of other. There are 3 of them. If you manage to pick all 3 of them up, it is a victory for you from a science perspective. So, or if you want to go for another affiliation like purity is very much like, you are still very much hold on to the old way of life, but you want to do it better than the Earth, of overpopulation, conflict, war, and so on. So you can go for this particular affiliation, purity, and purity in a sense. I think you need to conquer the worst of the whole entire, colonies to be yourself, to be your fashion, and after that you launch yourself back to Earth and take over Earth. I think something along that line. Very sci-fi. And the last one is called Supremacy, which I think is very much like incorporating cyber robotic into the human civilization, so that a human become robot, digitalized, kind of like a mind, and become immortal, become robots, and so on. And then their end game is also going back to Earth and liberate their brothers in Earth with this new technology, so that they too can be immortal with the robotic body and digital mind, and so on. So in a nutshell, in this game is very much like I don't know whether you've played StarCraft. So to me, Zerg is like harmony, and you have the Protoss, which is like the supremacy, and whatever the other one is is purity. So very much it is the same concept. So if you like that real-time strategy game like I do a lot, way more than civilization, this Beyond Earth talks to me, because it is what StarCraft and whatnot. And in StarCraft I play Zerg, so naturally I'm affiliated to Harmony, which is what it's about, incorporating alien DNA into the human civilization, and it's great stuff. And now I'm at the early game here. I've established a few outposts, and unfortunately, I mean, in this game I'm in the production, so I build a bit faster. So in terms of my diplomacy score is pretty alright. I'm not like a veteran in civilization games, so I'm not really good at this game, but I do enjoy the part of the simulation part of it. And if you see, I'm surrounded by all these aliens, so I make some mistake. I've unwittingly attacked some of these aliens, and they kind of get pissed off at me, and they are now ganging up on me, and it kind of limits my my expansion as well. Now, unlike Civilization 5, which you can send your troops or people or around the map, and it's pretty much free and easy exploration, this is a very dangerous place. So for instance, you see all these green gas here. If your troop walk onto it, you actually take damage. Like if I command this one walking into here, then I will start to take damage on the next round, and so on. So these are gas that are no good, and also they are full of all these aliens that are going to eat you alive. So like for instance, if I send my explorer out and maybe just another marine to follow, and you get wiped by all these aliens around. And it's very much unlike Civilization 5, which it is not such a dangerous place. So the sense of danger is here. And oh, by the way, there's an artifact. So like Civilization 5, there's architect that you can actually dig up some dig site or not. Same concept, similar concept, but it's available very much in the beginning of the game, and very much this whole place is very vast, but it's very limited by all this stuff that on the ground that you move. You have to be very careful which path to take and so on. So to me, I like it because it's a lot more dangerous now. But what I do not quite like is that I spend a lot of time fighting all these aliens. and it is very counterproductive because I sort of like keep doing it, and they keep coming to me, and I'm supposed to clean up the nest, like some of the nest around this area, but I don't really have the kind of like a military strength to go for it, because I need quite a big army, and there are so many of them. It becomes like a game against the aliens. While meanwhile, there are also other there are colonies out there that is occupying different part of the game as well, and some of them are doing pretty well. So if you look at the diplomacy point of view, I'm here. So I'm 282 score. So I'm pretty much closer to the top than my first game. My first game, I concentrate a lot of science progression. I've done a lot of research and so on. But because my production is quite low, so I couldn't get too far. But in terms of this game, I think I'm doing much better than last time. I was like at the bottom. By the time of this kind of turns, like 140, 150 rounds, but now I'm here, so I'm closer to the top, and then you can see there are a lot of other affiliation. Like for instance, I'm somehow being affiliated to this red thing here, which is the purity. I probably something out of what I researched, and you can see different civilization has a different affiliation as well. So like for instance, the American or the New American is they're on the supremacy. So yeah, I mean they want to dominate the world again in this new world. It happened that way. There are others as well, and you can somewhat relate to like African or France or whatnot, but they're from the distant past, and I'm like I'm here, and what else can I show you? The other thing is that it has a satellite view as well, which you can launch some satellite orbit on top of the area, and to give some kind of like extra coverage, extra benefit to it, or even some kind of like other favor again maybe, and then they have a quest view as well, and they define what is victory. You can have different kind of victory, domination and stuff, and what kind of research. Like the one that I'm looking at is the research on this couple of things. It's part of harmony path, and you can win the transcendence. Basically, it's a science victory in the Civilization 5 point of view. The other one is domination, and some of them is more of exploration. So there are various part of it. There are some quests as well. And one thing I like about this version of Beyond Earth is that there are a lot of decision points. So whatever you build, right? For instance, if you how should I get into this guy? If you build like a laboratory or whatever, probably not a laboratory, but if you build some of these buildings, they will actually ask you, would you like to have the benefit this way or that way? So there's a choice. There's a decision as in what you want to do, and whenever you come across some textile artifact, you also have a choice to do this or that. I think Civilization 5 has something like that, but this take it one step further to have a lot of decisions along the way, and I think it's great. I mean, it make the game a little bit different from the previous incarnation. Although I know a lot of people don't like the previous incarnation, and yeah, I mean the whole thing is very much like a part of Civilization. You have energy, and you have the health, and and meaning is in the old days the happiness and level. So it very much like going along that line as well, but it's very much sci-fi kind of background. So if you like sci-fi, then you probably very much like this one. So I thought maybe I just wrapped up this guy with a very quick new game. Maybe I just start a new game, like what it is like to start a new game in Beyond Earth. To start a new game, basically you can set up a game. I just default to Mercury because I'm not really like expert in Civilization 5, but I think if you are good, then you can maybe go for higher difficulties, and to start a game, there are a couple of choices up front that you can choose. So you can have different sponsors. So now a lot of people commented that unlike Civilization 5, the sponsors are very limited. So it is not like you have you have a lot of like different civilization with different variety. They have uniques as well, which in Beyond Earth it doesn't work that way. It works something like, you know, you pick one of these like sponsor whereby give you some kind of like benefit and you stick by that benefit. So like for instance, I prefer something that the city and outpost acquire new tile twice as fast. So, you know, I like expansion, so I pick this one for instance. And after that, they will ask you another question. You know, what kind of colonies would you like? Would you like to, you know, like towards science or towards like you know, +2 food or energy or production, or you know, or being artist. I mean, plus culture give you virtue, and you know, very much like Civilization 5, you can use all this currency to further, you know, progress in the game. You can do that too, and I prefer production because you can build things faster. And then after that, your spacecraft can say, you know, what would you like. You know, you can have the various, like, you know, you can see the alien nest if it's something that you want to know upfront, so that you can kill the nest faster maybe, or you can have the begin with a, you know, a certain amount of energy to start with, or you can see the petroleum and so on. Or I can just say, maybe to me it's important to see what's around the city starting area, so I use this one. But it's really up to you. I mean, you know, it gives you kind of variety to it. And then after that, these are a couple of things that you can decide whether you want the extra population on your first city, which is always good to have extra population, you know, jumpstart the game, or you can start with a free pioneer technology, or you which is good. Pioneering technology is something that, you know, people need to, is a must to research, I think, in order to expand. You can have a clinic building in your first city, or you begin with a soldier unit, begin with a worker unit. So it's something that you can consider. I like to start with, because I found that building worker unit takes time. So that is one option. And then last but not the least, what kind of world would you like? So, you know, I don't like a lot of sea, so, you know, maybe one large ocean, and bam, you can start the game. And to start the game, basically is like you launch the port onto the planet, and, you know, you pick a planet that you like. Pick a location where you like to start your game, very much like Civilization 5, whereby you have all these like a settler moving around and, you know, finding rights to find a city. So this is where you can play, and then no, I think I'm fine. No advice. It's just too much things. So here, because I've picked up the part about, you know, I have a better visualization. So normally you only see a little bit here, but now I see a lot more. So I have a choice, you know, where I land my first city, at the coast, or, you know, whatnot, you know, +3 food or +2 food, +1 production, and then surrounded by all these things here. You know, I can think about maybe my second you know, city can come, something like that. So once I've decided, so say for instance I want to be here, for instance, right? So I can click onto it, and then, you know, the port will then, I don't know, I keep talking about port, but, you know, whatever this, you know, spacecraft will come in with the default name. You can change that as well, and basically that's it. I mean, you know, that is the start of it, and that is your city, the first city. And you can build same thing. You can do the automation, and this is Explorer. You can immediately walk around and find various other things. And like I said to you, all these things you have to be careful and so on. You can choose your research, which one to research on. You know, pioneering is, by the way, pioneering is the one that I talk about, the mandatory one, whereby you can have a colonist, trade convoy, and trade vessel. All these things are very important to play this game. You can't skip this. So, you know, it's something that you should consider. And yeah, I mean, that's how you start the game, with just the city and worker, because I say so, and also the explorer. And I mean, I definitely will get this game when it's on discount, and when it's really, like, you know, with all DLC all together in a complete edition. But I thought, you know, I really wanted to make this video just to let some of you who are still thinking and do not have time to try this game to see how it works like. So I hope you enjoy this video, and well, I don't know how many years down the road I'll make another video on Beyond Earth, but yeah, who knows.